It's so dramatic. It's almost to a different level in the visual impact that that has.
Absolutely.
It's just, and true, I've had the option to see them in person. I'm telling you guys, pretty much, I can't imagine much of these at all coming back. The visual impact on it's remarkable. Okay,
all right,
we're going to get to the Caspian Sea Monster. One is layered in Russian red gold, one is not. The price has been amortized, which I appreciate for one. Here's why. It does cost more to build something layered in a Russian red gold. Because the price is identical, you don't have to make the decision, well, they're charging me more for the gold, so I'm going to go with the silver, or conversely, I like buying the more expensive things, so I'm going to get that one. You pick exactly the color that you want. This is a mechanical automatic. It has an absolutely extraordinary dial. It is exhibition back. I believe this is also proprietary engine.
This is a proprietary 32-joule Russian engine from Chistopol, Russia, built by the Vostok Watch Company. Tritium tube technology, that beautifully decorated dial. And I will tell you guys, I can't say this with absolute certainty, but I will be very surprised if these are ever aired again. I'm pretty sure this is gonna, we don't have this one listed as clearance, but we're coming to the end of this one. I mean, Vostok Europe's got a lot of things on queue coming up later this year and first of next year, new models. They're doing new versions of the Luna Code 2, not with the SOPROD, but with other movements. We've got 6 new executions of the Anchar coming out. Our first ever mother of pearls are coming out in the Anchar, first full loom dial.
That's going to look amazing.
Oh, it is. We're doing the deep black and the green mother of pearl. Those are going to be on a special event coming in November. So there's a lot of new things coming up. So you're seeing some of the watches tonight from Vostok Europe that you're not going to see again. And I hate, and I try to be careful. I never want to say you're never going to see it again if I'm not positive you're never going to see it again. But this is probably going to be your last chance, certainly at this price. You know, when you're talking about the Vostok movement, I mean, the Vostok movement itself is going, at a minimum, going to add $60 to $70 to any one of the Vostok executions, comparing it to one of the, if they're using one of the non-Vostok movements.
Yeah.
You've got the tritium tube technology. You have the 200-meter water resistance. This one layered in the Russian red. And Tim is right. We did flatten out the pricing, so you don't have to make a choice. In truth, the rose version of this should be about $30 more. So if that means anything to you, I mean, to me, this just gives you the opportunity, hey, I'm just going to pick up the one I like the best. Not everybody likes the plated watches. You know, if you want the straight stainless, you know, this is an opportunity to get one.
Well, I have to tell you, as a rule, I prefer watches that aren't layered.
I know, you were saying that the other day. You're getting to where you just prefer the non-plated.
But I do, but the one exception is Russian red.
Yeah.
But the reason that it is because it is Russian red. Because I have owned many watches that are layered in, you know, yellow gold or whatever. But the Russian red really does make that big of a difference. It's a richer, warmer, deeper color.
And I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Tim, about the fact that it's cultural for them, that they've been dealing with that that color of gold for so long, that it's what they think of as gold, that they have a different sensibility towards it than just someone who, we're just going to use, you know, red gold. It has a meaning to them that, I mean, you look at their, again, you know it as well as I do. You look at their wedding rings. They're rose gold. They're not yellow. They don't think of yellow gold as gold, which is to me kind of interesting because you have to put a doping alloy.
How it comes out of the ground.
Yeah, it comes out of the ground yellow. You have to put a doping alloy to make it rose. So anyway, beautiful dial work on this.
Let's talk about this.
Well, we haven't talked about the complications much tonight. Again, these are proprietary complications that you're looking at here in the Vostok 32-joule movement. This movement is hand-assembled, and the watch itself is hand-assembled in Vilnius, Lithuania. This is a 24-hour indicator. Now, I want to be clear, that's not it's not a GMT that you're not getting a dual time. It's slave to the 12-hour. It's just giving you the military time. And then this is a day-night indicator that moves from black to white as you move throughout the day. And then you also, this gives you a really good shot of showing you the tritium tubes. We haven't talked a lot about tritium tonight. I'm going to quickly go through and explain what this is for those of you who aren't familiar.
Can I interject in that point,
Go ahead.
by the way, because Craig won't tell you, so I will. Craig must be at least a year or two ago now, wrote a 2-part article for a major watch magazine. I think personally it's the best article I've ever seen that defines not just tritium, but the history,
went through the
of
history of
luminous
lume.
material on clocks
All the way back
and
to
wristwatches,
China.
which is pretty cool.
And I don't mean China
so you
today,
know
I mean
of
like
what
the
you
first-
speak when you start to get into this stuff.
Yeah,
That's my
and
point.
it's actually, you know, we haven't talked about this in a while, that how difficult, it's not easy to bring these in. I mean, these are regulated. We have to bring these in through a special facility because of the fact that the tritium in here is actually activating the luminous material. It is technically a radioactive material. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. It is a material that cannot and never has harmed humans. You could just about eat these tubes. I'm not recommending you do that, and it's not going to hurt you. Well, you know, the old, and I'm going to make sure I don't say it wrong this time so nobody can pick on me, but MB Microtech, which makes these tubes in Switzerland, will tell you that if you took 40 of the watches and loaded them with tubes, and you put them on a table, and you bashed them all up with a hammer and just spilled the tritium everywhere, you would have the radioactive equivalent of a decaying banana. So there's just, but it is technically radioactive material, so it is controlled by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission when we bring it in. It's this little glass-filled tube, and they use a laser process to fill it with these, and they make the smallest tubes in the world. And that's why MB Microtech is the one you're going to always see in watches, because they make them small enough, because they have to be small and light enough to fit on the hand, and the hand still move on the pinion without creating so much weight that it can't move on the pinion for the movement. And they fill them with the tritium, and then that activates, it's called radioluminescence, and it activates the lume material so that you have constant illumination. And they can light for up to 25 years. The tritium has a 12.5-year half-life. They can actually light for longer than that, but really the usable lifespan, you're looking at about 25 years. And they can be replaced.
Guys, I've got to wrap this up. Grab this. Looks like Rose is going to go first with about a dozen of those left, but you have Russian red or what we're calling silver, which is the raw color. Well, I'm not implying it's not finished. It's beautifully finished, but the natural color of the 316L
Right.
steel.